Hey everybody, what is going on and welcome back to the channel. So this is it, the highly anticipated Luminol blood test in my auction Tahoe. For any of you guys who just found this video and you don't know what I'm talking about, I bought this Tahoe on an auction site a few months back, and the interior was absolutely in gross shape. I cleaned it up in the video that is up on the top of the screen right now if you want to go check that out. But a lot of you guys have been commenting saying a lot of these stains look like blood. I did find glass in the car. People said maybe been a shootout. So I went on eBay. I picked up some luminol that will show blood under a black light. And we're going to go ahead and spray this thing down and see if we can find anything. So here's the luminol that I picked up off of eBay. It didn't come with any instructions. It just came with this little vial here of this powdered luminol along with a little spray bottle. And it just says it's good for up to 50 experiments. So there's really no instructions on how to use it, how much to mix in there. So I'm going to just mix a little bit in there with some warm water, let it dissolve. But from what I understand, you just spray this stuff on there, maybe wait a second, put the black light on it, and it should glow if it's blood. At least that's what I think is supposed to happen from watching CSI and all those type of shows. I am not a chemist or a forensic person or anything at all. This is just my own stupid little experiment I'm running. So if I'm doing something wrong, which chances are very high that I am, please leave a comment and let me know your opinions on this test. But I figure we'll start in the back here by this wheel well that had all that kind of blood-looking liquid just dripping down over it. And we'll start here and then we'll work our way around the rest of the truck. But I just sprayed the luminol on and then came in here with the black light. And as you can see, you can clearly see the kind of glowing lines of where the stain used to be, like literally the exact outline of the stain. Even though this thing got scrubbed and rinsed and scrubbed and cleaned, you can clearly see the outline of where it's dripping down. And if I run it along the side here, you can, like, clear as day see the outline of where it was all kind of pulled up and running down along that line. As for what this means, I'm not sure. From my understanding, from literally just watching TV shows, I would think that it would all kind of would have got spread around from me cleaning it, and it would look like one big blotchy mess. But regardless, it's definitely pretty cool how the stain reacts with the light. And even though without the light you can't really see anything there, once you put it on there, all those like drips and everything from when the stain was there are pretty much as clear as day. It's like they weren't even wiped away, they're just hidden. But that could be just because they were sitting there soaked for a while, and the light could just be reacting with whatever fluid, or, you know, if it was a drink or something, whatever sugars or anything could be reacting with the light. I'm not sure. I don't think it's blood, but we'll move on to the next stain. So moving over to the other stain in the back here, it's pretty much the same color that all the other ones were. You can still see a little bit of it there just because I didn't remove that panel and it was kind of like soaked in that whole corner. But putting the luminol on this yielded a different result. I'm sorry the camera's a little far back here, but you can clearly see when I'm shining the light on here, it doesn't have the reaction that the other side had. It's just like the rest of the carpet. It just kind of lights up. It doesn't glow like the other side did. And that really kind of weirded me out because the stains looked virtually the same. Like everything in there, aside from that one under the rear seat that we're going to get to a little bit later, they all looked exactly the same. So I can't understand why this one isn't lighting up and reacting to the luminol. Meanwhile, the stain that looked exactly the same on the other side, that one was. So now we're moving up to the middle section, the three final stains. This one here, if you can kind of see it, right in the upper right hand corner of that hump, it's kind of pinkish. You could kind of just see it. It was worse before I started cleaning it. Most likely this is like fruit punch or something. It doesn't look at all like the color blood would be, or even soda or something. This is a different color from the rest of the stain, so I'm really not expecting anything from this. And you'll see after I applied it here and put the light on it, I had absolutely no reaction whatsoever. And when I actually went to clean the carpet, this whole transmission hump here in the middle, it pretty much was stain free aside from just like dark dirt from like feet being on it. It had none of that like soda stain on it. So that's why literally this whole hump isn't glowing whatsoever, because it didn't have any of that like brownish mystery stain on it. But you can see right there that pink isn't doing anything for the black light. It's not glowing at all. Now we come over to number one, and this is that corner that had the most pooling up. with that same kind of brownish stain that was in the back by the cup holder there. So I just sprayed this whole section down. You can still see the carpet's a little bit yellowed from it, just because it's been sitting there, it's been soaked in, and I really had no motivation to pull this out and really like power wash it and everything. This truck is a daily driver. I'm throwing crap in the back of this thing. I wasn't going to pull this out and do all that, especially it was the middle of winter when I was doing this and it was freezing out. So I didn't want to pull the carpet, spray the power washer, get a bunch of water all over the driveway, have it ice up. So that's why I ended up doing it the way I did. But shining the light on here, you see I didn't get any reaction from the brown, but if you look up there in the corner, there's a little bit of a drip that shows up on the light, but as I'm looking at the bottom there's absolutely nothing. It's not glowing. It's pretty much showing up just like the rest of the carpet, even though you could clearly see that the stain is right there on the right where it's all yellow and then the left side is clean. But shining the light on it, there's really not much of a reaction whatsoever. But then you come up in this corner and look at that, the same kind of, you know, clear as day drip that's just coming down, that was kind of pooled in the back by the wheel well and coming along there, and you can see those little kind of like stains and drips right up there, which seems to be consistent with maybe if it was a car accident or something, maybe somebody got cut and they were kind of dripping off their elbow and it kind of dripped down there. But just the fact that you can clearly see those separate dots of drips, and they're clear as day over the yellow stain. I think they're two different substances, because the way I clean this and scrub this thing down, you know, they're not going to really separate, so you'll be able to see it under the black light. If it was all soda that just kind of dripped down, it all would have blended together when I cleaned it. You wouldn't still see a clear as day drip there. So now on to the final stain under the rear passenger seat. Now this is the one that I saved for last, because this is the one that I think is actual blood. Now just looking at the color of it, this is the only stain that didn't come out not nearly as good as the rest. You could clearly still see it there. It's kind of an orangey reddish yellow color, and before I started cleaning it, it was kind of like a thick coagulated brown, which was a lot darker than the rest of the stains. So if anything, if I had to put my money on any of these stains being blood, it would be this one right here. Plus when I put the luminol on it and shine the black light on it, you can clearly see, even though you see most of the stain, there's a lot more in between that you don't see that just lights up. Like, look at that. You clearly see all that white that is kind of surrounding the red that isn't there anymore, and that just lights up like a Christmas tree with the light. So that's why, if I had to put money on it, I would say this is probably blood. And the fact that it didn't come out like the other ones. The other one's kind of, you know, they got mixed into the carpet and got pulled out with the extractor. This one didn't. This one just stained it and didn't come out whatsoever. Possible this thing got in a wreck or something, but I really find that hard to believe, just for the fact that the truck is in like mint condition. And why would they, you know, get the bodywork done, get it fixed, but just leave the interior a complete gross mess with drinks all over the place, possibly, or even like blood stains? That's the part that doesn't add up to me. I'm really in no position to call this whether or not this is blood. I mean, you see it's clearly lighting up under the black light, but like I said, it could just be like soda or something. It's definitely interesting though how those lines there stand out against the whole yellowing that's around the entire area. So who knows, it's possible it could be blood, but calling that is out of my job description. Alright, so making the final call for this video, this footage I'm going to put up right now is going to be before and after footage, because a lot of you guys requested, you wanted to see the interior back together and what it looked like when it was all clean, so I figure I'll give you guys this while I just go over what we found. But personally, from what I've seen, with absolutely no experience or background in any kind of forensics or chemistry or anything like that, I think most of these stains are drink stains, like all the really big kind of yellowy ones, and then the really small, just random darker drips that light up white, those seem to be like they're probably blood. Not so much that kind of glowing, really drippy down part on the wheel well, but just looking at this old footage here when the car was dirty, you could clearly see like really thick, kind of coagulated dark brown random drips, and those are the spots that really lit up with the luminol. So it's possible that there was like blood in here, maybe from a cut or something. Who knows, maybe got in an accident and somebody dripped a little bit of blood. I wouldn't be able to say, but that's just looking at this, what I think by my personal opinion. But this is definitely a pretty cool video to do. I found it interesting how some of the stains, even though I thought everything was pretty much the same, you know, stain, some of those drips, even though they've been mostly cleaned away, you can still clearly see them over all that yellowing that I assumed was all the same thing. So it's possible it's blood, but as I mentioned before, you know, that is not my field to make that call. But I hope this video was able to answer some questions for you guys. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for this one. Sorry it took so long. I've been working on the Trans Am and just haven't had time to shoot it. But if you're wondering how this affects me, honestly, it doesn't change anything. I'm going to keep driving the thing the way I was. I'm not going to think any different. But I hope everybody enjoyed this video. I definitely had some fun filming it. And don't worry, we have more content coming on this thing. I'm actually going to start doing some modifications to it now. I have a brand new steering wheel we're going to be putting in this thing. Eventually, I'm going to get around to the headliner. But I think I'm going to start modding it, possibly a leveling kit for the front suspension. We're going to do probably headlights, taillights, maybe some LEDs, probably some rebadging, kind of stuff like that. So there's going to be more videos coming on this thing, so definitely stay tuned. We have more stuff coming on the Trans Am. I got a bunch of parts in for that, and there's also quite a few parts going in the Camaro soon before we get back to the track, start drag racing that thing again. So definitely stay tuned on this channel because I have a lot of content coming on all these cars.
All right, guys, one more thing I want to do before I close this video out. When I was editing this, I just realized that this here and all the other stains I was cleaning, they obviously weren't the same stain. So if I really think this is blood and all those other stains were most likely soda or something, I couldn't see if that was blood, it coming out so well. I mean, the extractor pulled it out of the carpet very, very easily. So none of that stuff was blood. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that would react to a black light. Even if I didn't spray the luminol on there, there's a good chance that still would have kind of glowed up and showed a reaction. I should have did that from the start. That's on me. But we do have this kind of weird red stain that I firmly believe is blood. So what I did was I went to Walgreens. I picked up some hydrogen peroxide here. And a lot of you guys were mentioning in the comments, and I did some YouTube video searches and just watched a few videos, that peroxide removes blood. I'm just going to spray this right on the stain here. And if it comes out, there's a good chance that is most likely blood. All right, it's been a few minutes here. I'm just gonna come in here with a paper towel. I mean, I really do not see anything coming off. If this was working from the videos I was looking at, it comes off relatively easily, and you'll clearly see it. Even though it's a blue paper towel, you'll see it on there. Honestly, if I had to guess, after doing this test here, I would say that's probably like pen ink or something. Because there is a little bit of ink over there. You can see the blue. So what does this prove? I don't know. It's probably not blood.
Follow me on Instagram. Link is going to be in the description. If you want to grab a hoodie, the link is going to be on the screen. If you want to see the detailing video that led to this video right here, that is going to be on the screen as well. But once again, I hope everyone enjoyed this video, and please be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.